Why is MW2 the greatest Call of Duty of all time? Oh, wait, I'm not talking about this Modern Warfare 2.
I'm trash.
Being honest, we're never getting another Call of Duty experience like 2009's Modern Warfare 2. The game was absolutely electric, from its story to the multiplayer and its savage promotional material.
Everyone is doing it. Guys are doing it with girls. Some get together in groups and do it. Some people like to do it hardcore.
You would be hard-pressed to find a more late 2000s experience like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Like, one of the promotional trailers features Till I Collapse by Eminem. And if you were playing Call of Duty during the late 2000s, early 2010s, you know if an Eminem song played during a promotional trailer, you knew that game was going to be fire, my guy. Not to mention all the band promotional material. Something about an old man describing the inner workings of the birds and the bees, but really describing a brand new DLC map pack is enough to make a man whip out his wallet and purchase some overly priced DLC. But how does this stack up against Modern Warfare 2 2022? Pretty well, if you ask me. Yes, Modern Warfare 2 2009 is an extremely flawed mess of a game, but it's perfect because of how flawed the game is. Like, yeah, getting noob-tube before you even spawn in is fun and all, but the amount of weird glitches, dumb private matches, and a way to settle online bullying in said private matches really made the experience all that much more worth it. Yet I feel the weird need to break this thing down like a high schooler studying for their final exams. Bet that one still hurts. Without further ado, let's turn down for SSDD, or in other words, same shit, different day. Shout out people who hate their jobs. The mission opens up with the player character Alan providing us with the basic "here's how you fire a weapon" tutorial mission. Keith David, instead of playing the Arbiter from Halo or Keith David in Saints Row 4, is playing Sergeant Foley. Alan Sargent, duh, and future meme material.
Ramirez! Take your team and secure the Burger Town. Ramirez, we still got hostiles near the Burger Town. We need to move. Ramirez, we need to move rapid now. Clear that restaurant.
But we'll get to that. Foley is using Alan as a training dummy for the Afghanistan National Army. Alan will perform various tasks that in turn will teach the player how to fire a weapon, but instead of playing a clip and boring you to death, I'll just sum it up this way. This is the business end. This is the site in which you aim. Once ready, point down range and go to work. After completing all these tasks, Alan is told to go into the pit with Corporal Dunn, who is voiced by none other than Jackson from Saving Private Ryan. That's a Snapple fact. Before heading to the pit, Alan can explore the base, watch people play basketball, feel patriotic over a jet breezing by your face, God I love this country, or explore the extremely overpriced menu at the Burger Town. After entering the pit, it's explained that Alan, spoilers, will be evaluated by General Shepard for a task force, which gives you two options here. Either A, be more basic than whatever kind of person orders a grande mochaccino from Starbucks and actually run through the pit, nerd, or B, alter history and put one between the eyes of General Shepard. Granted, that results in a mission failed, so either way you're doing option A, but you get an achievement for, you know, that, so yeah. After completing the pit, the player leaves with the base going on high alert with Foley ordering everyone to move out for something. Team player, a subtle nod to Zach Wilson's courageous decision to step back and give playing time to other QBs. Team player has player character do everything Alan's Jeep get hit by, presumably an RPG. He awakens to find soon-to-be American war hero, spoilers, General Shepard, trying to get him back into the fight, as apparently Rangers lead the way. Some fighting ensues, which forces Alan to use a noob tube to help cover the magical bridge-making machine. Once the bridge has been laid down, the Ranger Battalion, which consists of 300 to 1,200 soldiers, watches General Shepard unleash some danger close taxpayer freedom on a building that has some not-so-nice people in it. As Alan and team move through the city, they're ambushed by Op 4 troops. Spin up your minigun, which according to Google is 31.56 inches, which is well beyond mini if you ask me. Take as many Op 4 out until your Humvee is taken out. Alan and team will then unalive and clear the school where Op 4 are pinning down Shepard and his team. Once everything is clear, Dunn will make his stupid joke.
Yeah, I'm cutting through history class now.
Roger that.
Alan and team links up with Shepard, where Shepard informs Alan that he's been selected for his task force. Yippee. Cliffhanger. Jump into the frosty boots of Roach and former protagonist turned Zac Efron doppelganger Soap as they try to infiltrate a Russian base and retrieve a module from a crashed satellite. Roach will utilize an innovative ice climbing mechanic. Be cautious because hanging onto the ice too long will result in you falling to your death. Speaking of falling near death, Rad Roach can't stick the landing, but luckily Soap is able to rescue Roach before falling, which leads to both Soap and Roach beginning their approach to the base. Equipped with a brand new heartbeat sensor that totally won't become a crutch for players who have a phobia of moving, take out some guards while also being totally memed by a completely different competing FPS title.
No, he'll just send some Special Ops douchebags with pussy-ass heartbeat monitors on their guns instead of us. Special Ops douchebags with pussy-ass heartbeat monitors on their guns instead of us.
Roach will sneak around the base, unaliving guards and placing C4 as a diversion in case Slippery Soap and Roach are caught. Guess what? They are. Now having been compromised, Soap and Roach must fight their way to escape the facility, with more explosions than a Michael Bay Transformers film. Roach and Soap borrow some snowmobiles which they use for the greatest escape of the century. Roach and Soap will then come under fire from other snowmobiles and helicopters, so please don't get hit, or don't get hit by a tree at least. Eventually our friends make it to the extraction with the ACS module. No Russian. Unfortunately, due to YouTube's new policy against violence and gore, it has been decided by the overlords that showing this mission is a little bit too risky. Don't blame me. Do not blame me. I'm just trying to be the perfect role model in a world that is in desperate need of them. Plus, all of you voted for this level of censorship, so say what you want, but this would have never happened in his America. Harambe 2024. Anyways, I'm just going to show gameplay from an overly praised multiplayer map, that being Terminal, because I already lose money in taxes, and I'll be damned if I'm going to be losing any money over censorship. No Russian takes place in Russia, with player character Alan being undercover working with Vladimir Makarov. This guy's pretty bad. Makarov instructs everyone to not speak Russian, as the point of this is to blame the attack on another nation. Makarov and team unleash an onslaught of ammo onto innocents and security personnel. After all is said and done, Makarov declares the mass unaliving wasn't a message, but instead turning on Alan, leaving his corpse to be discovered because he's an American, inevitably causing World War III. Fun fact, you can find Yuri from Modern Warfare 3 in this mission if you just head back to the beginning. You don't care. Takedown. A bullet takes Soap, spoilers, Ghost, spoilers, and Roach, definite spoilers, on a trip to Brazil where they need to locate an arms dealer or something named Rojas, who has a possible location on Vladimir Makarov. Soap, Roach, and this guy come under fire from another guy who they're tailing, which results in this guy being, well, unalived. Pour one out. Roach, Soap, and Ghost chase this guy down only for Roach to put a bullet in his leg, which results in Soap and Ghost utilizing some unethical means of torture to figure out where Rojas is. Roach splits off with Meat and Royce, who will end up dying in a firefight that ensues in the favela. Roach, now all alone, must fight the entire favela while also chasing down Rojas with Soap and Ghost off in the distance. Eventually, Soap jumps out of a window and onto a car, capturing Rojas. Get me a cigarette, damn it. Wolverines, a mission title inspired by the hit 2012 movie Red Dawn. What could possibly go wrong here? Oh my god, what is going on? Taking place back in the States during Russia's invasion of the US, Foley, Dunn, and new member Ramirez must retrieve a VIP codenamed Raptor. The team comes under fire from a BTR, which forces said team to cut through some yards to avoid being detected by it. Ramirez will use the power of smoke to provide cover for the team as they move into an alleyway in which they come under fire from more Russians. Clear out said Russians and move to the location of Raptor. Who's Raptor, you might ask? Probably someone who's rich enough to afford the greatest military in human history next to the 1940s Soviet army. Listen man, when your whole game plan is to just have people run into a hail of gunfire, you're A1. Like, you're top tier. Ramirez and team rally together after reading some inspirational quotes on Instagram and hold the line until a convoy for extraction arrives. Ramirez, the typical do-all player character, defends the area using a sentry, a sniper with thermal optics, a Predator missile, and the stupidity of the Russian army, who some reason only uses one ladder to get up on the rooftop that you're on.
It's a murder party, and literally everyone is invited.
The restaurant in which Raptor is being held in gets hit by some planes, forcing Ramirez and team to secure the nearby Burger Town. Not to be confused with Burger King, probably due to some licensing issues. Once secure, Ramirez and team continue to hold the line, with the convoy showing up and extracting everyone. The Hornet's Nest. After retrieving information from Rojas about a man locked up in a gulag, wonder who that is, Soap, Ghost, and Roach must reach the extraction site while fighting off militia. Pretty simple. Shoot, unalive your way to the extraction, where apparently Nikolai can't land because of the swarming militia. Sad. So instead, Soap, Ghost, and Roach make a break for it by jumping from rooftop to rooftop, trying to avoid the militia. Running out of roof to jump from, the team needs to jump a gap the size of Aaron Judge's two front teeth. Soap and Ghost make it while Roach falls to his death. Wait. Nope, he's alive. Protagonist armor, baby. Roach must avoid militia. By doing this, he will end up doing his best Keemstar impression.
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
And not getting shot by the militia. Luckily, he doesn't and is able to make the leap to the helicopter with Nikolai taking them to a submarine. Another fun fact, if you turn around at the beginning, you can find Rojas all tied up. Do with that as you wish. Exodus. Ramirez and team must take out anti-aircraft in a really rich town. Use a Glock with a laser pointer to guide a tank or whatever and fight some Russians. Make sure you turn on some Gary Vee, that way you can understand how to become a multi-millionaire and live in a fancy home like these, or just move to Texas. Once the anti-air is destroyed, Ramirez and team must find and extract another VIP. Plot twist, he's dead. Grab the intel and extract. The only easy day was yesterday. Roach and team tactically insert themselves into an oil rig full of hostages and SAM sites. The mission, sneak into the oil rig using fancy new underwater boats, tactically unaliving these guys, epic slow-mo breach, and clear some rooms until shit goes south and you're forced to resort back to the typical Call of Duty mission style of gameplay. Once completed, the team will move on to the Gulag to secure prisoner 627. There's really not much here, to be honest. The Gulag, not the Zoomer generation's version of 1v1 me bro on Rust, but instead a mission that's opening fits perfectly with the Team America song, which I refuse to play because of copyright. Thanks, Elon. Roach, Soap, Ghost, and a bunch of other guys attempt to rescue prisoner 627. To do this, they use the power of America's superior aircrafts to clear a path to the Gulag. Roach will utilize a sniper rifle that will help clear out some of the guards and prevent them from using missiles on the invading Task Force 141. Roach and team will land, clearing the courtyard of Russians, moving further into the Gulag. Ghost heroically volunteers to stay back and open doors for Soap and Roach. The two will eventually, after more fighting, make it to the armory where the team utilizes riot shields in an attempt to avoid Russians, blah blah blah. Rappel down and clear out more Russians. The US Navy starts to fire on the Gulag a bit too early because, you know, those Navy guys, just a bunch of trigger-happy loonies, am I right? Shepard notifies the team that they will cease fire but don't care about one man in a Gulag. Soap and Roach do a breach and clear where they end up in the showers fighting off a bunch of armed Russians, much like the movie The Rock with Sean Connery. Y'all are probably too young to... It's the map from Warzone. That's probably what more of you would understand. After making their way through a hole in the floor, Roach will perform another breach and clear where they discover prisoner 627, who punches Roach in the face. Plot twist, it's Price. Yup. It's Captain Price. He's alive. Price, Soap, and Roach start to make their way to the extraction where the tunnel collapses because the Navy has begun its bombardment. The team turns back only to find out it's a dead end. Roach gets knocked out, resulting in one of the coolest parts of the entire game.
Whatever you're gonna do, Soap, do it fast!
Which results in, you guessed it, another extraction. A lot of extracting going on here. Of their own accord, get to the Capitol building or something and help provide cover for helicopters doing some extracting for civilians. Your helicopter, after you get on, gets shot down, by the way. So sad. Contingency. Price, having been locked up in a Gulag for who knows how long, came up with a plan to help the Americans' war effort. Roach and Price drop in behind enemy lines to take out SAM sites and infiltrate a sub-base. Roach and Price must evade enemy patrols, or don't, who really cares. Roach and Price will come under fire from a BTR, forcing them to hide in the woods and evade more patrols. Again, it doesn't really matter how you dispose of them, just do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? But remember, you will make Price mad, and you don't want to make Price mad.
So why in bloody hell does Makarov know you?
Shit, my bad. Spoilers for Modern Warfare 3. I mean, LOL, the game came out like, what, 12 years ago or something, so who really cares? Price and Rad Roach will link up with Ghost and his team, taking out SAM sites and some Russians, which results in the activation of a Predator missile. Use said Predator missile on the sub-base to help create chaos and sound the alarm. As Roach and team move through the base, they will encounter a bunch of Russians. God damn how many of you are there, and will need to cover Price as he infiltrates a submarine. The cell bays open, resulting in a missile launch, creating panic as to what Price has just done. Second Sun, or better yet, Space Simulator 2009 opens up with some astronaut witnessing the missile coming over a non-flat Earth. Shout out Kyrie Irving. The missile makes its way over to America, which detonates, resulting in the astronaut and space station being torn apart and drift into space. Back on non-flat Earth, the players put back in the boots of Ramirez, whose team is under fire from Russians. We witness the EMP detonation, which causes all the equipment to fail, with the Apache helicopters coming crashing down to the ground. With no lights, the team must locate other rangers in the area. They meet this guy, who tells them to get to Whiskey Hotel. As Ramirez and team move on, they come under fire from more Russians, who are quickly unalived. The team continues to move through the darkened streets, finding more Russians and eventually leading them to the president's secret bunker. Whiskey Hotel. You ever wonder what the president's Plan B bunker looks like? No? Me neither. Ramirez and team make their way through a flooded presidential bunker where they come out the other side in front of the White House. That's racist. The White House is apparently the only place with power, and it's up to Ramirez and team to get inside and secure it before missiles are dropped on top of it. Guess what Ramirez and team do? They end up securing the White House. Loose ends, or as I like to call it, the biggest betrayal in gaming. Yeah, that betrayal. I'm gonna be real with you, G. If you didn't cry during this part like Matthew McConaughey did in Interstellar, then you have no soul. Mainly because it involves, hold on, spoiler, involves the death of one of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise. Ozone. Nope. Ghost. Damn it, I messed that one up. It takes place somewhere in Russia where the player, Roach and a small team need to enter an estate owned by none other than Makarov to extract data from his computer to be able to find his current whereabouts. You're ambushed by a small pocket of Russians who are using bouncing betties to slow your advance. Once making your way through the smoke and God taking out a couple vehicles, you breach and clear your way into the estate. How awesome is this breach and clearing stuff? Like, they should make an entire game out of it. Oh, they did. Didn't work. If you haven't gathered by now, they basically slowed down the animation where it felt like all your bullets would cause these ragdolls to go flying. Usually I just shoot them in the ass because it looked funnier. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Once clearing all the rooms and locating a blow-up doll in a tub, what the fuck? You hook up the hard drive and start downloading data, mostly porn, while you experience some of the most excruciatingly long download times as you fend off waves and waves of enemies until all of a sudden, it's done. Some of the random characters die off, but who really cares? You, the player, Roach and Ghost, God I love you, make your way down the hill to the extraction site where, plot twist, you're betrayed and burned alive. The mission ends with Shepard leaving you for dead while in the background you can hear Price trying to figure out what's going on in the chaos ensuing from their own betrayal. Cue all the late 2000s hypercam videos trying to prove Ghost didn't die or he was gassed the entire time. The enemy of my enemy, with Ghost and Rad Roach sadly betrayed and unalived by Shepard, Soap and Price are now caught in between Shepard and Makarov's men. Soap must either do the impossible and sneak by everyone or do what 100% of us did and go balls to the wall and murk everyone. Makarov, during a phone conversation with Price, will reveal the location of Shepard, which somehow Price knows where this is. A car chase ensues with Price and Soap making their way to unalive Shepard. Just like old times, Soap and Price must unalive Shepard the best way they know how. War crimes, baby. The duo will eliminate patrols, and even more patrols. Utilizing stealth for about 10 seconds and then using everything at their disposal, from riot shields, LMGs, and noob tubes, Shepard will launch missiles on his own men because why not commit even more war crimes during this until they finally have to jump in a boat and chase down Shepard. Endgame. Chase down Shepard in a speedboat, utilize your infinite ammo Uzi to help clear the way, try to avoid helicopter fire and RPGs or else you die. Shepard manages to board a Pavlo which Price shoots down. Unable to avoid the waterfall, Price and Soap jump down. Soap awakens alone and wanders over to the crash site. He manages to unalive a couple Shadow Company and find Shepard somehow alive, resulting in a small chase. The end result is Soap getting hit in the face and a knife in his chest, which begins Shepard's boring monologue about how he lost a bunch of troops from a nuke in COD 4, and that started to make him feel like World War III will help America's patriotism and he'll be a hero. All of a sudden, like an edge rusher coming up the left side, Price sacks Shepard, forcing the two into hand-to-hand combat. With Shepard overpowering Price, Soap utilizes the knife in his chest to unalive Shepard, saving the day, which then makes it look like Price is dead, but he's not. Nikolai comes and mentions he knows a place to take Soap to recover from his wounds. Museum. You ever watch Night at the Museum? Think that, but in Call of Duty, and instead of a caveman throwing fecal matter at you, AI are shooting bullets at you. It's cool, especially in the remaster, to walk around and see all the various characters, weapons, and set pieces in the game. Still think MW2, the not good MW2, missed an opportunity to not bring this back, but what do they care? They gave a shipment again, which is all that matters, right? Spec Ops. I might sound like a broken record, but fuck Spec Ops. Simple. It is such a boring game mode and a rather lazy game mode. Let's just take a bunch of missions from the campaign and make it into little challenges for the players. Get bent. I still remember that one weird kid I went to middle school with who claimed to have a JTAG Xbox and said that the game would launch with an Aliens Wave based game mode. And it's easy to say that was a bigger letdown than the Cardinals' air raid offense. Enjoy Bangkok, you beautiful son of a bitch. But that's also probably a good explanation as to why I hate Spec Ops mode so much. Multiplayer. If you say MW2's multiplayer wasn't peak, then my dude, you weren't there. Was it balanced? No, but who needs balancing when you have tons of iconic maps, weapons, perks, and kill streaks. 2009's Modern Warfare 2 did exactly what it was supposed to do. Take COD 4's brilliant multiplayer and build off of it, adding the beloved pro perk system, more kill streaks and attachments. Plus, it's hard to fault the developers for the issues that came with this game because like Kirk Cousins-led offenses during prime time, they weren't there. Half the company broke off during the cycle due to some dispute which basically tanked the game's development. This led to seeing fewer patches, which led to tons of glitches and abuse of broken weapons, perks, and attachments like Danger Close and One Man Army, ruining the game. And if you don't know what that looked like, here's a pretty good clip of it. But even through all that, you had a flawed but perfect multiplayer experience. And don't get me started on the game chat. My god, the level of abuse that occurred in public matches was just terrible, but amazing at the same time. And if you're wondering why it's unplayable in 2023, you're probably going back for nostalgia purposes, but I'm here to tell you, man, that doesn't exist. Like, yeah, gameplay-wise, things are still broken, but you're not gonna have that 2009 experience that you're hoping for. Modern Warfare 2 2009 is by far the superior Modern Warfare 2 experience. The game has tons of flaws with its multiplayer, but those flaws end up being highlights because it made the game more entertaining to play. Would this game succeed now? Sure, probably. But Modern Warfare 2 2009 is a solid 9.7 out of 10 if you ask me. But what do you think of Modern Warfare 2? Is it the best Modern Warfare 2 ever or not? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, great, then leave a like. And if you didn't, well, why don't you pound sand? Be sure to subscribe to help support Oakland fans in need of a team to root for. And, well, bye.
You know I love that shit!